Wicked Fox is about... No, I just said what it's about. She loses her 여우구슬, her fox speed. I don't care. Hi, I'm Dabby, but you can call me Dabz. So today I'm reviewing Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. So Kat Cho is one of the authors that is coming to BookCon this year. And I went to BookCon last year and it was really fun. So I'm going to BookCon again this year and I hope that I can meet Kat Cho. So Wicked Fox is a kind of retelling, I don't know why I did this. It's a kind of retelling of this like old Korean tale called Gumiho. The old Korean tale is about this 9-tailed fox that is half fox, half human, and she eats livers, human livers. That's how she stays alive. So this story is kind of like a retelling of that Korean tale. And it's about this girl named Gumiho, and she is a Gumiho, and she's half human, half Gumiho, and she moves every like couple months because she wants to keep her identity hidden and stuff like that. So when she moves to Seoul, she accidentally shows her identity to this boy Ji-hoon while fighting a goblin. Dokebi is a goblin, right? So in the process of fighting the goblin, she loses her 여우구슬, her fox speed, and that is very important to being a Gumiho. It like if you lose it and it's not in you for a long time, you could die, and also if someone else has it, then they can control you. And she reveals her identity, her Gumiho identity, to Ji-hoon that night, and her and Ji-hoon instantly have a connection. They kind of are drawn to each other. But this might cause problems because she needs to move soon, and she's also immortal, which means she can't die, she can live forever, while Ji-hoon is a human and he can die. And lots of other problems come up with this one. So Wicked Fox was pretty good. I rated it 3.5 out of 5 stars. One thing that I really enjoyed about this book was all the Korean culture added into it. I especially loved learning about this new tale, and I loved learning about like this new tale in my culture because I'm Korean, so I liked learning about like something from my culture. So in this book, there is a lot of Korean words, and this can be both a pro and a con, because it can be a pro because it's really good for people who are trying to learn the language, because it constantly says words over and over, like 할머니, 엄마, 아저씨, things like that Korean people use a lot. So that could be helpful, but it can also be a con because it can be a little confusing. So this book doesn't explain the words in the text like Frankly in Love does. Frankly in Love very deeply explains all of the words that they use, but they don't use the words that many times. It'll be like 떡볶이's on this book. Like 물냉면, and then it'll be like 물냉면 is this type of like noodle, cold noodles that we eat in Korea or something like that. But there's a glossary at the end of this book. But I feel like it can still be confusing and kind of annoying because if you're not trying to learn Korean, if you see like the word 아저씨, then you're like, oh, I forgot what that means. And you go back to the glossary, and then you see another word, and you keep having to go back to the glossary, so that could be kind of like annoying to do.
But important word and keep.
A lot of words that are like 할머니 is used a lot because someone's 할머니 is very important to the story. 할머니 means grandma. Is very important to the story. So as you read it over and over, you'll slowly start to know that means grandma. So I feel like that can be a bad thing and also a good thing. So this book was in the dialogue, mostly in this book was in kind of like the format of like a TV show, especially a K-drama, which is a Korean drama. And I don't watch like K-dramas, but I always see my parents watching them on TV. So sometimes I like watch little like scenes of them when I walk by. And I don't know why, but every single like dialogue scene in this book, I can imagine as like in my head as like a TV show, like a K-drama where like this, like the camera pans over to like their face and they say something. It's like very, like, you know, I can imagine it like that. The dialogue is very, like, it seems like it's inspired by, like, dramas. One thing that I found a little bit weird in this book was that the world building, because obviously this book is a fantasy, so it has magic in it, but the world building of this fantasy world was, I don't know, it was a little bit, like, fast. It was a little rushed. So, like, it brought in things like Taoist magic or, like, ghee into the story very quickly. And I still don't really understand what ghee is. Or, like, Taoist magic. Like, I feel like the author didn't really explain what those were as she was, like, building the story in the world. She kind of just added them in and, like, pushed them in your face. Like, you know? Another thing that I found a little bit strange was the pacing of this book. So, like, it seemed like the beginning and the end parts were very slow, and then the middle part was more fast-paced, which was, like, okay for me, but I didn't love how the ending was slow because I felt like I wanted to get through the book, but whenever a book is slower paced, I like to read it a little slower. So, that was a little weird. So in this book, I felt like a lot of the scenes were very descriptive. Like the author used a lot of like very like vibrant, like vivid vocabulary words. Like words in the book to like make it seem more like images in your head. I also felt like the romance and the romance in this book was very intense. It was all over the place. It was up and down, and I loved it. It was like, yeah. And I felt like the romance, the friendships, and the family relationships were very, like, they developed along the story, and they were also very realistic. I felt like things happened in the relationships that would definitely happen in real life. Okay, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Like this video if you like this video. Subscribe if you want more content like this. And happy reading. Okay. So, can I just restart the story part?